It's not just about going to camp. What are you doing throughout the week? How are you showing your faith? How are you feeding the sheep? Okay? You leave sheep unattended for a season. When you come back, they're going to be dead. They have to constantly be fed with this living water, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
So when they had dined, Jesus saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rchakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Khadashir from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson. And as you can see the title of the lesson, it says Yahushai was wont to teach. And this is going to be inspiration really from this video that I just played in the beginning, right? Because this brother is basically going into, it's not just about going to camp. What are you doing throughout the week? You see, because if we truly are following after Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, this is a lifestyle. This is something that you are dedicated to, man. And I just wanted to show something, right? Because when you read the scriptures, man, this video, it inspired me to make this lesson. And it reminded me of an account that I was reading in the scriptures earlier this week. I was reading the book of Mark this week, and in the book of Mark, I'm going to just read it. This is Mark 10:1. And there's a word that I want to get in this Mark 10:1. And I just want to show you that, hey, Yahushua was about doing this work, man. All right? It's not just about going to camp. It's about what you do in your everyday life. You got to feed the sheep, man. You see? You got to be active in this. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. This is Mark 10:1. It says, And he arose from thence and cometh into the coasts of Judea by the farther side of Jordan. And the people resort unto him again. And as he was wont, he taught them again. Right? So when you read the King James Version, right? When you read the KJV, sometimes, the words, you might not understand the words because it's old English. It's an archaic way of English. You see? So a lot of the words, you're going to see things like wont, thee, thy, thine, right? Yonder. You're going to see things like wherefore, right? And you got to look those things up, man, because it's going to help you better understand the scriptures. So I was reading Mark 10:1, and I looked up that word wont, right? And the word wont, it means formal, right? It says one's customary behavior in a particular situation. So when it says, and as he was wont, right? Let's insert the definition. Now that we know what wont means, right? That's somebody's habit in a particular situation, right? Let me keep reading. It says, of a person in the habit of doing something accustomed, make or be or become accustomed. So when you're wont to do something, that means you're accustomed to it. That's your habit. That's something that you're already kind of used to doing. It's your routine. You're in the habit of doing that. So let's read Mark 10:1 over again, and let's read it with understanding now that we know what the word wont means, right? It says Mark 10:1, and he arose from thence and cometh into the coast of Judea by the farther side of Jordan, and the people resort unto him again. And as he was wont, as he was accustomed, he taught them again. So Yahushai was accustomed to teaching. Yahushai was constantly doing the work. Matter of fact, when you keep reading in the book of Mark, it talks about how basically, they were doing the work so much, they barely had time to eat. Let me see if I could get that. just real quick, because man, when you start reading the scriptures, man, Yahushua, they were about doing this work, man. They really were about, you know, teaching and going from place to place and spreading the gospel, man. But let me see if I could find this real quick, because I remember I was reading it earlier, how they barely had time to eat, man. You see, they were so dedicated to doing the work, they didn't even have time to eat, man. But let me see real quick. I know it was around here somewhere, Salakia. It says Salakia, Baba Shah, bear with me. Let me see. Let me see. Salakia. I'm gonna just keep going in the lesson, but look, man, the point is that we have to keep doing this. This is something that we have to do every single day. This is our lifestyle, man. And when you go into the scriptures, I also wanted to get this one real quick, because in the book of Colossians, it says right here, Colossians 3:1, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of God. So if you be risen with the Lord, right, you call yourself, you know, so-called being in the truth, right? If you be risen with the Lord, let's see what that word risen means. It's G4891, and it's the Greek word.
Strong's G4891. Sunegairo. Sunegairo.
It's the Greek word sunegairo, which means to raise together, to cause to raise together, to raise up together from mortal death to a new and blessed life dedicated to God. So now, if you be risen with a Mashiach, what are you supposed to be focused on? You say you're in the truth, right? You believe you're an Israelite, right? You love Yahushua, you love Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, right? Well, now, right, the Lord has raised you up from mortal death to a new and blessed life dedicated to God. You got to dedicate yourself to this truth, man. When you dedicate yourself to something, that's, you damn near don't even care that, if you don't feel like it, man. When you're so dedicated to something, you don't care about how you feel. You're going to do it anyways, man. Think about all these people that fight for for a corruptible crown, man. When these people fight for a corruptible crown, they go through all these motions, right? And they put themselves in a mindset to achieve that corruptible crown, man. So how much more us, right, that the Lord has raised us up together from mortal death to a new and blessed life dedicated to God. What type of mindset should we be in? When you read the scriptures, man, the scriptures tell you what type of mindset we should be in, right? And even when you read about the examples that the men of the Lord gave, that should put the spirit on you to want to feed the sheep, to want to do the work, to put in, to plow, man. But it says right here, 1 Corinthians 9:24 says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. You see? Let me read it in the in the NLT real quick. It says, let me see, in the NLT real quick. It says, let me see, let me, in the NLT real quick. It says, let me see, let me, in the NLT real quick. It says, let me see, let me, in the NLT real quick. It says, let me see, let me, in the NLT real quick. It says, Right here, this is 1 Corinthians 9:24 in the NLT. It says, don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. See, when somebody in the world is disciplining themselves and putting themselves in a mindset to achieve a certain result, whether it be a championship game or, they want to be the best of the best in a certain area, right? If they want to exceed, those athletes discipline themselves, man. And a matter of fact, when you go into that word for temperate, I believe it goes into the same thing too. It says right here, temperate is G1467.
Strong's G 1467. Ekratouomai. Ekratouomai.
It's the Greek word ekratouomai, which means to be self-controlled, continent, to exhibit self-government conduct, oneself temperately. It says in a figure drawn from athletes who, in preparing themselves for the games, abstained from unwholesome food, wine, and sexual indulgence. So in order for us to achieve that corruptible crown, we got to put ourselves in the right mindset to even, be efficient in this truth, man. And one of the ways that you're going to be efficient in this truth, is by actually putting the work in, man. You got to actually give attendance unto reading, exhortation, and doctrine. But if you're too busy feeding the flesh and you have no self-control, right? You have no discipline, right? Eventually, you're going to fall out, man, because you're not, it says, the scripture says that the care of discipline is love, and the love is the keeping of her commandments. So if you truly care about this truth, then you're going to take care of it, man. You're going to be disciplined in it. You see, you're going to have some self-control. You're going to exhibit self-control because ultimately, that you have to feed the sheep. You have to ultimately take care of your ministry, man. If the Lord has given you a talent, the scriptures say, it says, make full proof of thy ministry. So you got to see this all the way through, man. You can't go back into the world. Nah, you have to keep teaching. That's why going back to the original video behind the inspiration, right, for this lesson, the brother said it's not just about, going to camp, right? It's about what you do day in and day out. And when we read the scriptures, right, what was Yahushua accustomed to do? He was wont to teach, man. His custom, his habit, his routine, right, what Yahushua was accustomed to was to teach. You see? Yahushua was accustomed to teach, man. That's it. A matter of fact, the scriptures even say that he was moved with compassion. So not only was Yahushua accustomed to teaching, but he wanted to teach, man. He was moving with compassion towards the multitudes, man. It talks about right here, Matthew 9:36. It says, I'm going to start off at verse 35. And Yahushua went about all the cities and villages. That means he was going from place to place teaching. He wasn't just, just sitting down, not doing anything all day, man. Which now, we have the privilege of going on YouTube and posting a lesson and it reaches a whole audience. But back then, we didn't have internet, man. Yahushua was going physically from place to place teaching, man. Because he was accustomed to it, because he wanted to. And if you truly say that you're in the truth, then you're going to want to teach too, man. You're going to want to wake up our people. You're going to want to blow the trumpet, man. The scripture says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. So that's exactly what we got to do, man. If Yahushua was wont to teach, if he was accustomed to do that, then we got to be accustomed to do the same thing, man. To be in the same exact spirit, to keep teaching, to do this day in and day out, man. You see? But it says right here, Matthew 9:35, it says, and Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. And this is the point. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as a sheep having no shepherd. So Yahushua, he was moved with compassion, man. He was, you know, he wanted to teach. He wanted to heal. He wanted to ultimately do the work, right? And that's the mindset that Yahushua had. It says right here, John 4:32. And this is important. This has to come out, man, because, you know, Christians will tell you, a Christian will tell you, well, this is what the Lord would do. This is how. No, these Christians don't even read the scriptures, man. When you read the scriptures, Yahushua was an austere man. He was about his father's business. And overall, hey, man, Yahushua had a heavy spirit on him, man. Because he is the Son of God. He was the one prophesied to come. He's the Messiah, man. He's the anointed. He's the King of Israel. He's the first begotten. He was the beginning of the creation of God. That's what it says in Revelation 3:14. It says that he was the beginning of the creation of God. And Yahushua had characteristics that if you read the Bible, you could very well understand that the Lord was about his Father's business. He was about doing the work. He was not about sitting on his ass all day, not doing anything, man. Being lazy. That was not one of the characteristics of the Lord. That's not what he displayed. He's the author and finisher of our faith, and he laid the foundation of how we're supposed to walk, man. Feed the sheep, man. Feed the flock. Do the work. All right? But it says John 4:32. And he said unto them, or I'm actually verse 34, it says John 4:34, Yahushua saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. That's what Yahushua was about, man. You see? Let me read it in the NLT. It says, then Yahushua explained, my nourishment comes from doing the will of God who sent me and from finishing his work. So the Lord is basically saying, my bread and butter is to do the will of the Lord. My bread and butter is to be about my Father's business, to do this work. That's what nourishes me. That's my meat. All right? That's what ultimately, that's what fulfills me. You see? And when you understand that, look, man, once you understand that, it's almost like you try not to give yourself any excuses. You know, you put yourself almost like, man, if this was the mindset of our Lord, what should I be doing? I need to go carry my cross. I need to go do the work. I need to do what's required of me, ultimately. Because once you understand that the Lord was about his Father's business, once you understand that the Lord was about doing the work, what should we be doing, man? We got to do the work as well. We can't just be here all willy-nilly not doing anything, man. Yahushua was wont. It says, as he was wont. So that means he was accustomed to doing this. It was his habit. It was, you know, he wanted to teach. He wanted to heal the people. He moved with compassion towards the multitudes. You see? So, you know, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, Lord willing, the point was made, right? That Yahushua was wont to teach. You know, and us as well, we have to be in the same spirit, man. We have to do the work. All right? We have to do the work. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom and Abba.